Have you ever stopped to wonder why, in a world filled with casual relationships and modern values, many men who follow Christian principles seem to have difficulty attracting women? Is there a deep disconnect between the way these men live and what society values today? In today's video, we're going to dive into a topic that's sure to spark debate and reflection. Why so many modern women are not attracted to men who follow Christian values. We're going to explore 10 surprising reasons and discover what's really happening behind this dynamic. Some of these points might even challenge you to reevaluate the way you view relationships and the expectations society imposes. But before we begin, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit the notification bell to receive more videos that cover important topics on relationships, faith, and modern life. Share your thoughts in the comments below, as this is a space for constructive dialogue and mutual learning. Ready? Let's get started. Difference in cultural and social values. Christian men follow biblical values that often clash with the cultural norms of modern society. In a world where personal freedom, individualism, and self-fulfillment are highly valued, men who prioritize submission to God and live according to biblical principles can seem out of sync. Modern society promotes immediate gratification, personal ambition, and material success, while Christian men are taught to value purity, humility, and personal sacrifice. For many modern women, these differences are significant. They may view Christian men as old-fashioned or overly moralistic, which can create a barrier in relationships. Furthermore, modern life encourages independence and female empowerment, which often contrasts with the idea of mutual submission and male leadership that Christian men advocate. This disconnect in values can be one of the main reasons why these men struggle to find partners who share their beliefs. Purity and relationship standards. The approach of Christian men towards sexual purity in relationships is another area of conflict. They often follow biblical teachings that encourage chastity until marriage, which can seem outdated in a culture that normalizes sexual exploration and casual relationships. In a world where sex is often seen as a natural part of a relationship, waiting until marriage can be seen as an unnecessary or even impossible restriction. The hookup culture and casual dating are common today, and many men and women consider physical intimacy an important part of getting to know someone. For Christian men, however, the relationship must be built on spiritual values, and sex should only occur within a sacred marriage. This view can distance women who do not share this belief, leading to disinterest, especially when modern society preaches freedom of choice and immediate satisfaction. Perception of control or toxic masculinity. Many Christian men firmly believe in the role of male leadership within the relationship, following the biblical guidance that the man should be the head of the family. However, this traditional view can be interpreted as a form of control or toxic masculinity by some modern women who advocate for full gender equality. The idea that the man should lead and the woman should submit, even in a context of love and respect, can be seen as oppressive. Today's society strongly values female empowerment and gender equality, and the idea of submission, even if mutual and respectful, can seem outdated or even backward. For many modern women who want to be seen as equals in all aspects of a relationship, this dynamic of male leadership can be uncomfortable, leading to a natural rejection of Christian men who follow this model. Emphasis on the traditional family. Christian men generally value a traditional family structure where clearly defined gender roles are the norm. For many, the man's role is to provide and lead spiritually, while the woman's role is to care for the family and fulfill domestic duties. While this structure works well for some, many modern women prefer a more balanced arrangement where both partners share work and family responsibilities equally. Modern society offers many opportunities for women who now seek to balance career, personal life, and relationships more equally. The idea of a fixed gender role within the family can be limiting for those who desire more freedom to define their own roles within the relationship. This can create a natural resistance to men who follow a more traditional model, leading to disinterest. Rejection of casual dating culture. The casual dating culture is widely accepted today, with dating apps facilitating quick, no-strings-attached connections. However, many Christian men reject this practice, preferring to pursue serious, committed relationships from the start, with the ultimate goal of marriage. They see dating as a path to marriage, not as a form of experimentation or fun. For women who are used to the freedom of exploring different relationships before committing, this more serious approach may seem stifling or rushed. The lack of flexibility when it comes to exploring other options can be seen as a limitation. Moreover, the desire to avoid casual dating can be seen as incompatible with modern social habits. High moral standards. Christian men generally maintain high moral standards for themselves and their partners. They seek women who share their faith, their dedication to God, and their commitment to a life of integrity and obedience. This means they often have strict expectations regarding behavior, dress, and conduct. For many modern women, these high standards can seem limiting or impossible to meet. Today's culture emphasizes individuality and freedom of expression, whether through fashion, lifestyle, or opinions. Having to conform to a set of moral expectations they don't share can be seen as judgmental, causing these women to distance themselves from men who impose these expectations. Expectation of submission and obedience. The expectation of submission, both to God and to the husband, is a central belief for many Christian men. They follow biblical guidance, suggesting that the wife should submit to the husband, just as the husband should love and sacrifice for his wife. However, in a culture that values gender equality and female empowerment, this idea can be seen as outdated or oppressive. Many modern women were raised in an environment that promotes independence and autonomy. The idea of submission, even in a loving and respectful relationship, can seem like a threat to that autonomy. The concept of obedience to a partner can be misinterpreted as subjugation, which creates a significant barrier to interest in Christian men who follow this doctrine. Focus on spiritual commitment. For Christian men, spiritual commitment is the foundation of any relationship. They seek partners who share their faith and are willing to walk alongside them in their spiritual journey. This priority of placing God at the center of everything can be seen as excessive by women who do not have the same religious devotion, or who prefer a more secular approach to life and relationships. In a world where religious faith is no longer a defining factor in many people's lives, the insistence on spiritual commitment can be perceived as an overemphasis on religion. For some women, this priority can push them away, especially if they do not share the same intensity of belief. Rejection of feminism and progressive ideas. Many Christian men have traditional views on gender roles which can clash with feminism and progressive ideas. They believe that men and women have distinct but complementary roles in society and family. While modern feminism advocates for full equality of rights and opportunities, the Christian view can be interpreted as a limitation of these ideas. For women who identify with feminism and advocate for complete independence from men in terms of social and family roles, the Christian view of gender roles can be a major point of disagreement. The rejection of progressive ideas about gender equality and personal autonomy can create a significant division, making attraction between these women and Christian men difficult. Mutual accountability and correction. Christian men believe that spiritual growth in a relationship requires mutual accountability. They expect both themselves and their partners to be able to correct each other in love, pointing out behaviors that do not align with God's principles. While this correction is done with good intentions, it can be interpreted as criticism or control. In modern culture, individuality and self-acceptance are highly valued. The idea that a partner can correct or criticize another person's choices can feel like an invasion or an attempt at control. This can lead to discomfort or resistance, especially in women who are used to a more permissive and accepting approach to relationships. While men who follow Christian values bring a serious and committed approach to relationships, cultural conflicts and differences in expectations can make compatibility with many modern women challenging. Differences in values, expectations of gender roles, and lifestyle can cause these men to be seen as outdated or out of sync with current norms. However, for those who share the same values and beliefs, these men can be exceptional, committed, and dedicated partners.